Good evening, Mary Gearin with ABC News. As we move closer to a potential easing of restrictions, authorities are investigating a new cluster of coronavirus cases in Victoria. 8 people linked to a Melbourne meat processing facility have tested positive to the virus. The business has been shut down and cleaned, and the government says there's no ongoing threat to public health. There were 7 new cases identified in the past 24 hours, including 3 from the meatworks and a Melbourne paramedic who's recovering in isolation. With just 53 active cases now in Victoria, the pressure is mounting for the state to take the foot off the brake. Emilia Terzon reports.
The rules haven't changed, but in some parts of Melbourne it looks like a normal Saturday. Stage 3 regulations remain in place for at least another 9 days. But it seems there's some restriction resistance.
We've got more restrictions on schools, more restrictions on recreational activities, and potentially even more restrictions on Mother's Day compared to other states.
As of this weekend, Queenslanders are back at the beach and small dinner parties are allowed in New South Wales. In comparison, Victoria has some of the toughest Covid-19 social gathering rules in the nation.
Every state's circumstances will vary. And you would expect that because our data, our rate of transmission is different across different states and territories.
It's only going alone in a way which makes it harder for Victorians.
Hospitality groups also want the taps turned back on, at least by July.
The sooner we can operate, the better. We've done a lot of work getting prepared for this. We've got a safe socialising policy in place. We've done a lot of training.
One of Australia's biggest hospitality groups had a turnover of $13 million a week before the shutdowns in March. Now almost all of its 160 venues are closed, and a deal to buy the iconic Melbourne venue, the Espy, has been called off.
We're one of the fortunate ones, and we've got very supportive shareholders and banks, but I'm really worried about publicans generally and how long they can sustain this for.
The federal government is meeting this Friday to discuss relaxing some rules, and the Deputy Federal Chief Health Officer says the classrooms are safe to reopen. But the Victorian Health Minister says that it won't be considering dropping anything until May 11th.
Every state is taking their own approach. We have said from day one that we will make decisions based on the public health interests of Victorians. And my conscience is clear that we have done everything possible to keep Victorians safe.
Victorians will be looking forward to the day when they can drink to that. Emilia Terzon, ABC News, Melbourne.